Oh, before I forget, gotta hit the record button. I always forget to do that. Oh, let's do a Discord message too. If you haven't already, by the way, join the Discord. All right, live YouTube, and let's copy and paste this. Live YouTube, Team Dev Sims heard. Watch Team Dev new interview. Blah blah blah. Then horror game on Twitch. Everyone. And then let's paste the YouTube link on here. And horror game on Twitch. And then this right here. And enter. Yay! Okay, so hopefully that goes through. Ah, no! Oh, my mouse literally died. Hold on a second. What a great start. Wait, did it die? Hello? Maybe my computer froze? It was weird. I don't know what's going on. Alright, so we got everything is all set. And I got my video up. Oh man, this is 44 minutes long. Holy crap. I didn't know that. 44 minutes long. And then at least this is, what, 12 pages? Okay, this is gonna be really short to read. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Hold on a second. It's about to come out. Nope, just kidding. Try not to get my lip color on this thing. That's why I'm drinking it all funky. Ugh. And I got my glasses. Oh, it's dirty actually. It's clean. Oh, my glasses really quick. Ow! Mother F. I opened the drawer and this whole thing is falling apart. Oh my god. Hold on. Hi Brandon, how are you doing today? Oh, get in there. Oh my god, everything almost fell out just now. How's your day going? Hello, hello. What is up? How is everyone? It's very cold in LA, man. I feel like that's just gonna be part of my intro every day until it gets warmer. I don't know what's going on. It's very, very cold in LA. I feel like I'm in the East Coast again. All right, let's clean this. Wait, where's my glass wipe at? Oh, I'll just use this for now. This is such a waste too. It's like individually packed little moist wipes, but they're for your glasses. I don't know if you know this is even good for the glasses, because like apparently you're not supposed to use certain, like this is alcohol. I don't know if you're even supposed to use this. It might be damaging the coating of my glasses right now. I don't know. Isopropyl alcohol and water. Not for use with contact lenses. Yeah, no duh. Do not use on frames made of tortoise, shell, or gems. Okay. Do not use on lenses with scratch or damage a surface or with peeling and flaking coating. I mean, it should be okay, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Glasses are so damn expensive. Hello, my day is good. It cooled off here in Houston. Wait, was it hot in Texas? Are you guys getting warm weather over there? And also, my my videos keep getting flagged with limited monetization. I keep having to request a manual review. But the good thing is, they've been approving them, most of it. But it's just kind of annoying to deal with. Man, here I thought YouTube was a lot more relaxed than Twitch. Hi, Rikta. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello, hello. I'm super excited. So yesterday, we were supposed to play a horror game. We were supposed to play Callisto Protocol. And then I got swept away by Overwatch. We played Overwatch for like 5 hours. I'm getting really close to getting my Kiriko hero unlock. I don't know. You know, in hindsight, though, I should have just paid the $10, changed my name, because I had all my heroes, I had all my skins and stuff, and I don't know. I was just trying to cheap out by making a new free account. But then it's like pointless because then I have to. I didn't realize how hard it was to unlock a new hero. It's so annoying. What's with the profile picture? What is my profile picture? Oh, I love it. It's perfect. It looks like there's blood and stuff all over my face. Someone made like an animated version. There's this thing you can download where it animatizes your photos and stuff and makes you look really like artsy, cartoony, anime-like. However, in that picture, I didn't really have blood on my face. We did this cooking stream where I made blueberry pie, and then I was just memeing around with it, and I put like the blueberry sauce all over my face, and it looks like blood, but I love it. Let's just tell people it's blood. It's human blood. Heck yeah, I chose that. I love things that are like, you know, gory, bloody, a little bit creepy. Creepy is like my vibe here. But I didn't make it. One of my mods made it for me. Also, look at this. Look at how cute. I got a little corgi on my head. Isn't this adorable? My friends sent me a little corgi clip for my birthday. And it's so adorable. It looks like a little Shiro. I thought it was blood. Let's just tell people it's blood, just so they can be scared when they come to my channel, you know? Maybe a little intimidated or something. Very cute. I know. I went online to see if there was more, like different colors, maybe a darker one that looks like Steve, but there isn't. So we just have little Shiro on my head. It's so adorable. It's a little clip. I want to buy more though, because I have a feeling this might get lost or I might break it. But yeah, anyways, super excited. All right, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing very well. We have a lot of videos that were posted out, so keep an eye out if anything is interesting to you. We did some KC videos, although I'm going to rewatch the doc, and then I want to do a recap for Doc and the things that I found that were very inconsistent with some of her stories. So keep an eye on that. I haven't worked on that yet. Gotta do that. And then if you guys haven't seen it yet, I have my vlog that's out right now. It's from November, December. We're doing some home decor stuff, Christmas decorations, and all the holiday fun festivities, and lots of food, of course. So if you're interested, check that one out. And then other than that, we do have some of the updates with some of the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp stuff. And today we're going to be doing, so this was something that I was going to read last week, but honestly, I was just like, I'm just going to end my stream. We'll just read it a different day because it's only 12 pages. Now, I have not read this yet. I skimmed through it a little bit, but I didn't really read it line for line. I skimmed through it, saw that there were some, you know, there's some punches here and there. So we're going to read that. And then afterwards, I got a notification pop up on my computer yesterday. It seems like Johnny Depp and his team, well, not Johnny Depp, sorry, Team Johnny Depp. I think it's like Camille Vasquez, Samuel Moniz, which you guys know is one of my top favorites. I love the emails that he wrote to Elaine. And the other one is with Jessica, I think. She was also another, I think a lawyer that was part of the team. And I think it's just them three. So I think they do an interview. It's like an exclusive interview on Court TV. They have part 1 up right now. So let's watch it together. And afterwards, I'm probably going to pivot over to my other stream on Twitch and then play some horror games. Because that's what I like to do. I like to play some horror games. Hello again from Houston. Hi, Roy. How are you doing today? I hope the Texas electrical grid dies again when it hits sub-zero temperatures. That sounds very ominous. Do you live in Texas or do you not live in Texas? Because from what I heard, when that happened last time, it was a shit show. People almost froze to death because it was so damn cold. They had like nothing to eat and stuff. Like, I don't know, man, that's scary. I hope you guys will be okay over there. Although, I don't know if they really worked on the infrastructure, because is that enough time to give them to really work on the infrastructure in case it ever freezes again, like the craziness? I heard the freeze was bad. Yeah, I heard about it. There was this girl who, she had like a vlog, and I was watching her, and like she was in Texas, and she actually had some, like, I think they were like homeless people. They were like really fucking cold. They like broke into one of her, like, she had like an outside shed thing, and they were like staying in there to keep warm and stuff. Cause like, I don't know, man, that shit is crazy. So don't freeze to death, cause that sounds really painful. I hear, by the way, freezing to death is more painful than burning in fire. Although I wouldn't know, or I don't know anyone who could attest to that, but I heard it's really painful to freeze to death. Hi, Anne. How are you doing today? Hi, Levis. Hello, Clint. How's it going? Oh, you're in England. Oh, that sounds very cold. Oh, no. Listen, I've been complaining. It's cold in LA, okay? We bought a little portable heater here for my dogs, and I've been stealing it a little bit because I don't want to blast the heat all the time, and especially when I blast the heat, sometimes it gets too hot in here. But we got a little portable heater. I got it for my corgis, and I think they like it. They're like sleeping near it. Hello from Cape Verde. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hi, Barbarella. Portable heaters are necessary. Yeah, dude, and like I don't want my electrical bill to be so crazy, you know, like blasting the heat and stuff all the time. Hello there. Find Captain Jack on Captain Core's YouTube channel. Oh, yes. Brandon told me about that. I think like yesterday or something like that. Very, very cool to have Johnny Depp dressed up as Captain Jack Sparrow and then like to surprise like a fan with the video and stuff. That's really awesome. Hi to my favorite YouTube. Hi, Barb. Thank you. Or I don't know. Maybe you're not talking about me. Maybe you're talking about someone else. All right, y'all. So let's just get into it because I want to play my horror game and I want to watch this Court TV interview. I'm super excited. So we're going to start off the stream with, so if you guys don't remember, I don't blame you if you don't remember because last week was a bleep show with Amber Heard and her team, and we read pages and 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 pages of their appeal stuff. They submitted their appeal stuff. It was submitted by Ben Roddenborn. That video's out, by the way. And then also, Amber Heard and her team, they had like an amicus curiae, so I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's the best I can do. It was like a lot of pages. We read the shorter one that was like 60 something pages. I think the original one was like 70 something pages, and we read that. So I'm sorry if I want to make your guys' ear hole bleed, but today, you know, we're gonna read Johnny Depp and his team response to that. And you know, I did skim through it a little bit. I didn't read it line for line, but it's quite comical in terms of there are some punches thrown here and there against Team Amber Heard. But yeah, let's read it together. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick. Oh my god, what happened to the blurry? Why is it blurry? Stop. Wait, how long was it blurry for? No! Oh, please focus back on me. Oh, I changed my camera settings. Something happened and my camera was very pixelated. Oh my god. Hello? Let me know if it fudges up again. Man, wait a second. So, how long was it blurry for? That was a lot of talking. That was a lot of talking. You're behind on the Depp stuff? If you are behind, no worries. I read all the court doc stuff, all the court docs for the appeal stuff. I uploaded them on my YouTube channel, but right now they're all still in the very beginning stages of the appeal process. Team Amber Heard, they submitted this I don't know, there's like this document. It's called the amicus curiae, where you have people that are like friends of like people that are related to the trial. So these are friends of people of Amber Heard and her supporters. They signed this document thing and they wrote this like whole 60, 70 pages thing supporting her, why they support her. And it was just like, oh man, like just watch the video. I made a video about it. I don't want to talk about it again, but yeah, just watch the video. I uploaded it. But anyways, if my camera goes out of focus, let me know, okay? Sorry guys. This is like, this is my energy right now. I'm very high energy because I was watching this other YouTube channel and she does vlogs. She's very high energy, and then I absorbed it from her. So that's why we're going a little bit crazy today. I didn't have any coffee or anything like that. Oh, I know. Actually, no, I do know why I'm very energetic. I had Honest Tea. If you haven't already, Honest Tea Peach. So good. Annie says it was focused in the corner of your mind. Oh god, 1 or 2 minutes. You know, it'll be fine. It's fine. I'm still good. It's fine. We're still gonna post it on YouTube. It's fine. It's fine. Just let me know if anything like that happens again. Good lord. Okay, I'm gonna have my OBS up on this side. I'll try to keep an eye on it. Although I don't know why my computer is like acting a little bit funny. So this is Johnny Depp and his team. This is their response, I guess, or maybe it's opposition. Oh, this is their response. Of course, they're all opposing what Amber and her team had filed. And so let's just read it together. It's very short. It's not 70, 80 pages. Thank goodness. This is nice, short, sweet, succinct, to the point, 12 pages, okay? And then we'll get to the Court TV interview. Whew, that was a mouthful. Let's get out to, should I zoom in a little bit? Oh, you know what? And let me mute my music. I don't know what it is, but I hope I'm not getting sick. My throat feels a little bit weird. Although I feel like I've been saying that every week since COVID has been out. I keep saying like, oh my god, my throat feels weird. My throat feels weird, but I don't get sick. But I don't know. It feels weird. Maybe I'm just getting really paranoid. The DUI guy said Ben Shu did this like a boss. I'm sure he did. I'm always very appreciative of things that Team Johnny Depp files because I feel like it's straight to the point. There's no BS. It's not like, I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that like Amber Heard and her team filed, it's just like, just trim the fat out, okay? Trim the fat out. Let's just get to the fucking point. Let's get to the meat of the argument. Stop obfuscating so much, and let's just do it. But we're very glad that we're reading a Team Johnny Depp file paperwork thing right now, okay? So it's going to be okay. I don't think our heads are going to be too jumbled up, although I'm totally making it jumbled up right now with my rambling. Anyways, hello. 2 times speed. Good luck doing 2 times speed, okay? Because I just had an honest tea and it has a little bit of black oolong in it. I think my minds are like, it's a little bit crazy right now. All right. So, in the Court of Appeals, as you guys know, it's taking place in Virginia where the trial happened. We have Amber Laura Heard, John C. Depp, appellees omnibus opposition to amicus motions for leave to file briefs amicus curiae. Huge shout out, by the way, for Brandon for sending me this doc, and I think Brandon said they got it from Popcorn Planet. So shout out to both of them. Thank you. And that's why we're reading it right now. Appellee John C. Depp II, Mr. Depp, by and through his undersigned counsel, respectfully submits his omnibus opposition to the motion for leave to file brief of amicus curiae, sanctuary for families. The Virginia National Organization for the Women, the DC Coalition Against DV, Equality Now, Esperanza United, the Feminist Majority Foundation, Battered Women's Justice Project, the Women's Equal Justice Project, National Crime Victim Law Institution, the Coalition Against Trafficking Women, and Professor Catherine A. McKinnon et al. Is that how you pronounce that? Et al. In support of the defendant, appellant filed for the amici by Simpson Thatcher and Bartlett LLP, the Simpson motion and the Simpson amici, and the motion for leave to file amicus brief filed by the amici by Fletcher, Heald, and Hildreth. Oh, I think, oh man. I think these were the new law firms that Amber Heard is also working with. I don't know. I'm very curious to see how many law firms she's working with, because so far that we know, she dropped Elaine's law firm. We have Rod & Bourne's law firm it's not his law firm, it's a law firm that he works with, Wood Rogers. So that's one. And then we have Ballot Spar, which is the new appeal lawyers. That's 2. And then it seems like there's more lawyers that are working on other stuff as well. Like that's a lot of lawyers. It would be really hard for them to kind of like connect with each other, you know? Like imagine one workplace and different departments, how it's already hard to have like inter-department communications, but like between like different companies, like different law firms, stuff like that. I don't know. It might be a shit show unless there's someone on her team that's really good at organizing all this. I don't know. Introduction. Actually, you know, this is a term that I've never heard before. This is a kitchen sink appeal. I do want to look that up because I've never heard of that before. A kitchen sink appeal. I don't know. It's how to avoid the kitchen sink appeal. Oh, wait, this is actually hilarious. TheLexology.com. How to avoid the kitchen sink appeal and other nuances for a self-insured health plan. All right, let's see what the kitchen sink appeal. Oh man, this is really long and lengthy, but it seems like they're just like copy-paste arguments. Is that what it's going? That's what it's saying. A kitchen sink appeal. I'm a cop. Wait, no, I'm too lazy. A kitchen sink appeal is often a cut and paste compilation of 25 pages or more, usually containing long passages and references to cases which appear to have no bearing whatsoever on appeal. Oh my goodness, that is straight to the point. Ooh, we started with some fire here. Who drafted this? Was it Ben Chu who drafted this? Hi, Cecilia. How are you doing today? I don't know where the money be coming from. We wondering the same thing. When you find out, let us know. Hey, Storm, how are you doing today? How is it going? This is a kitchen sink appeal, with appellant purporting to assert no fewer than 16 assignments of error. Appellant Amber Laura Heard, Ms. Heard, is represented by 2 large and well-regarded law firms. Is seeking to relitigate virtually every major ruling made by 2 distinguished and highly respected Chief Judges of the Fairfax County Circuit Court, the Honorable Bruce D. White, retired. So initially, the trial was being, or it's not the trial because it didn't really happen yet. Initially, everything was being overseen by Bruce D. White. That's why if you look at the court docs, you're going to see Bruce White. You're not going to see Judge Penny until later on. So I guess what happened was that Bruce White, he retired, and then Judge Penny took over the case. Over the course of a 3-year litigation and a 6-week jury trial, in addition to the oversized brief, oversized indeed, of 55 pages that Ms. Heard has filed in support for appeal, the amici seek to present a collective 93. Oh, I did not read the 90 pages one. We only read the 60 pages one. Damn, I didn't know there was a 93 pages one. Of additional argument in support of Ms. Heard's positions. If the motions were granted, Mr. Depp would be required to respond to a total of 148 pages with his own brief, which presently is set at 55 pages. Though there are doubtless cases in which the briefings by amici curiae might assist the court in resolving the issues before it, this is not one of them. Mr. Depp respectfully submits the filing of such extensive additional briefing by amici curiae here is neither necessary nor appropriate and should not be allowed. As a threshold matter, the court should deny their motions because the amici failed to comply with the applicable rules by inter alia, neglecting to properly assign error, which violation constitutes sufficient grounds for denial. Moreover, Ms. Heard is very competently represented, is not in need of assistance or additional briefings in support of her position, nor should Mr. Depp be burdened with having to respond to such voluminous additional briefing. Damn. Remember, the original one was 93 darn pages. Hi, Toot. How are you doing today? Oh, hello, Palermo. No. First of all, I was streaming yesterday on Twitch, okay? I was playing Overwatch for like 5 hours. I don't know where you were, but I was there. Okay, I don't know where you were. But hi, Palermo. How are you doing today? Finally, the amici's arguments add nothing to the legal analysis provided by appellant Heard's counsel and appear focused instead of arguing with the jury's clear findings in favor of Mr. Depp or the underlying factual issues. The amici proceeds from the essential premise that Ms. Heard is a representative of DAV, a premise that is emphatically and soundly rejected by the jury who paid careful attention to the evidence presented during the 6-week trial. Both amicus briefs cherry pick evidence. Didn't we talked about that a lot, right? Cherry picking. They're cherry picking a lot. They're minimalizing a lot of things that they believe should have swayed the jury to a different finding, but offer the court no insight on the legal issues actually at issue in Ms. Heard's appeal. Allowing this additional briefing would merely serve to complicate what is already a sprawling, misplaced appeal. Accordingly, Mr. Depp most respectfully requests that the court deny the Fletcher and Simpson motions. Number 2, it bears noting that a trial court rejected a motion to file amicus brief at the pleading stage of this case for many of the same reasons the motion should be denied here. With then Chief Judge White noting on the record that Ms. Heard's counsel in the case are highly experienced and will present the law quite adequately into the court. Oh my goodness, I wonder how much did she have to pay to the lawyers who worked on that 90-page freaking essay. Oh my goodness. I wonder how much she would have to pay, because imagine just getting it rejected. It's like, ooh, yikes. There just goes money down the drain, I guess. Let's take a look into the argument. I know, isn't it so cute, Mackie? He's so cute. He's so adorable. I love it. My friends got it for me for my birthday. Yay. I never got to say happy birthday to you. Oh, I thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Happy birthday to your brother, too, by the way. I know our birthdays are really close. The amici failed. Oh, no, sorry. Start over. Number 1. The court should deny leave because the amici failed to comply with the applicable rules. To wit, a brief amicus curiae must comply with the rules applicable to the brief of the party supported. I don't know what the hell I just read just now, but okay. Because the amici are seeking to support Ms. Heard's opening brief on her appeal, they are required to comply with all of the requirements set forth in Rule 5A20, including the requirement under Rule 5A20C that the brief must contain a separate heading for assignments of error with a list of specific errors claimed to have been made by the trial court and an exact reference to the page of the record where the error has been preserved. A failure to assign error or insufficiencies in the assignments of error are both a basis to dismiss an appeal, or as is the failure to adequately support an assignment of error with citations to the relevant pages of the rule. Yikes. Did they not do their formatting correctly? That's not good. Here, neither the brief offered by the Simpson amici, sorry, water break. Oh my God. Guys, get a Yeti, please. Get a Yeti, or sorry, you don't have to get a Yeti. Get Alexis, get a Yeti. No, get a Yeti and fill it up with some nice warm water. It is a game changer, okay? If it's cold over there, if you ain't got the heat on, or if you're out and about and it's cold, get a Yeti and just put some warm water in there. It's so nice. It's so comforting. Neither the brief offered by Simpson amici nor the brief offered by the Fletcher amici complies with the express requirements. The Fletcher amici brief does not contain a section of assignments of error at all. Yikes, Fletcher. While the Simpson amici included a separate section for assignments of error, but failed to support it with any citations to the record. Guys, imagine being in school right now, or I don't know if you guys are already in school, but for those of you guys who aren't in school, imagine being in school right now, submitting your thesis report or something like that, right? And then your teacher hands it back to you. It's like, excuse me, where are your citations? There's no citations. What am I supposed to do with this? How do I know what you're saying is BS or not? Simpson amici included a separate section of assignments of errors, but failed to support any citation of the record. In addition to the failure to provide any supporting citation, something's in my eye. Oh my god, something's in my eye. Hold on. Oh, I heard about that. I heard the font size was off. Did they make the font smaller or something like that so it would fit in the pages better? Was it something like that? You know, okay. First of all, let me switch to this view really quick. Anyone, do you guys remember when you're writing your essays and your teacher's like, oh, it has to be in Times New Roman, size 12 font, the margins have to be blah, 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 the heading has to be blah, 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 blah. Dude, anyone here mess with the font size before? Or mess with the the margins or the heading? Because, you know, sometimes when you're bad at writing, but you're just trying to fill up the page as much as you can, you might do. I remember there's one person that would do like double space between the sentences, just so they can like, you know, just so it could make it look like they wrote more than they really did. Oh man, is that what her and her team did? Except they wanted to fit more words on the doc. That's why they fuck with the font. Arif says, I wish Amber disappeared for good. She reminds me of the scene from Scary Movie when the ghost face cuts off Buffy Gilmore's head and she still won't shut up about how she has the upper hand like damn. Oh my god, I forgot about that movie. Great scene, great scene. Hi Schubert, how are you doing today? Yeah, they did make it smaller to fit more words, and the courts don't appreciate moves like that. Oh my god. Hi Leela, how are you doing? Oh my god, Leela, is that your cat? She's adorable. You can also modify the font kerning so the letters are slightly more squished together. There's a lot of little tricks. Hi, Keldon. How are you doing today? They made the font smaller to fit more BS. Yo, that is funny. Should we look up these law firms? Oh my goodness, what other cases did they work on? Where is she finding these these lawyers? Now, first with the lane, you know, now this. They are involved in some funny business. All right, so in addition to the failure to provide any supporting citations, the Simpson amici also, oh, I'm sorry, let's go. Oh, this is what we're talking about. The Simpson amici also violate the rules by using a size 12 font rather than the required size 14, meaning their brief is actually even longer than appears to be on its face. Is that why we felt like we were taking forever to read it? Hi! Oh my gosh, Comer, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Comer just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Did they just recently added that on YouTube? That's so awesome. For those of you guys who are new here, if you got a membership, you have a baby corgi badge now, and you got an emote. You know, there's some emotes in there. So, dude, thank you so much, Comer. I really appreciate that. Hello. Number 2, the court should deny leave to file the briefs because the appellant is well represented. Is she? I don't know. We're starting to be a little, I don't know. We're scratching our heads a little bit, aren't we? And responding to the amici would be unnecessarily burden Mr. Depp. Subject to expectations not pertinent here, a brief amicus curiae is permitted only on motion and by consent of this court. The rules therefore reflect that such briefing is generally considered unnecessary, nor would be necessary or helpful in this case. It is undisputed that Ms. Heard is well represented in this action by 2 major law firms. Oh, okay. So yeah, these are the 2 law firms we're talking about. But I guess like for her other shit, she has like other law firms working on like all the other subsidiary stuff, which is like the amicus curiae, I guess, right? Toots, yay! You got a membership from Comer. So if anyone here got a membership, y'all got it from Comer. Make sure to give Comer a huge thank you. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hi, no one. How are you doing today? How's your day going? What is up? It is undisputed that Ms. Heard is well represented in this action by 2 major law firms, Ballard Spahr and Wood Rogers, who also acted as Ms. Heard's co-lead trial counsel. On behalf of Ms. Heard, Woods Rogers and Ballard Spahr have already filed an oversized brief of 55 pages that seeks to put at issue 16 separate assignments of error. She certainly does not need 93 pages of additional supporting briefing briefing from outside amici. As noted above, in light of Simpson amici's use of smaller font size, the actual pages of extra briefing are closer to 100 to adequately present her arguments to the court. Oh man, someone copied and pasted that document and they were like, okay, if we were to change the font to size 14, let's see how long it really would be. Moreover, Ms. Heard's counsel appeared to be acting in coordination with counsel for the amici, which strongly indicates an attempt by appellant Heard to circumvent the page limits imposed on both parties. For example, in the proposed amicus brief offered by Simpson amici, which was filed and served, do you think they're also on her payroll as well? I would assume so. Which was filed and served the same day as Ms. Heard's opening brief. Ms. Heard's entire statement of facts is simply incorporated by reference in an open acknowledgement that the amici had previously received Ms. Heard's brief and were acting in coordination with her counsel. Ooh, which counsel? Mr. Depp, who has received leave to file a brief of only 55 pages, would be unfairly burdened if the amici briefs were allowed. So this is Johnny Depp and his team they are hoping it gets rejected because this is more work for them. This is probably more unnecessary work. They could be focusing on the big things, but if they had to respond to the 90 plus pages of the amici brief, like that is just way too time consuming. They're just like, please, no, I don't want to respond to this. Mr. Depp must already respond to Ms. Heard's highly unusual. Hold on a second, I need a break. Oh my gosh, okay. Did Ben Chu wrote this, right? Oh, this is hilarious. Mr. Depp must also address the 3 additional assignments of error. Mr. Depp must already respond to Ms. Heard's highly unusual... The little jabs that we're throwing here. I love it. 16 separate assignments of error in a single brief. Further, Mr. Depp must also address the 3 additional assignments of error he identified for the court's consideration in the event of remand. If the amici briefs were allowed, Mr. Depp would also be forced to address their 93 pages of argument, totaling 148, all in the same responsive brief. The burden of Mr. Depp doing so would be substantial and unjustified. 3. The court should deny leave because the arguments for the amici are irrelevant and inappropriate. Ooh, let's get into the what's inappropriate about it. We already have an inkling. Heard is willing to run into the ground and go bankrupt for it. She's a dog with a bone. She won't let it go. I can see her saying, don't forget to put X in, add Y. So eager to be the loudest. He signed at the bottom, so I believe so. Mr. Depp will not address the substance of the amici's arguments in detail in this opposition, other than to point out that the arguments in the briefs are for the most irrelevant to the legal issues on appeal and consist largely of disagreements with the jury's factual findings or complaints about the impact of the jury's factual findings on society in general. The amici cherry pick and misstates evidence. Yes, we talked about this. When we went through it, we were just, some of the stuff that they brought up made Johnny Depp look so bad, but it was like out of context. Alone, if it stood alone, it would be like, oh my God, like Johnny Depp's a horrible person. But once you find out the context of everything that happened, how it happened, and like just things like that, it was just like, oh my God, like they are absolutely just misstating things just to make themselves look better. But again, like, if the people didn't watch the trial, they weren't paying attention, then they might be like, oh, okay, we're like team Amber Heard. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm so glad that we're getting here. Yay! Okay, let's go, Ben Chu. The amici cherry picks and misstates evidence that they maintain supports their personal factual conclusions to argue that the jury got the factual issues wrong while ignoring the substantial evidence, including testimony of credible, disinterested witnesses that was present at the trier of facts of Ms. Heard's AB conduct, admission, and conspicuous lack of credibility. The amici also expend many pages arguing the jury's verdict is somehow harmful to AB victims in general. Yeah, there was a lot of things that they were just reaching really, really hard. Such arguments are wholly inappropriate on appeal. This court should not substitute its own judgment, much less the judgment of amici curiae, for that of the jury. See Kelly v. Commonwealth, we do not substitute our judgment for that of the trier of facts. Likewise, the amici's focus on some perceived social harm that will result to AB victims generally from the verdict is both factually misguided because the jury clearly and emphatically conclude that Mr. Depp is not an AB, and an inappropriate argument because the jury was tasked with making a factual determination with respect to only the parties to this action, not with sending a message to society at large. Hutchins v. Commonwealth, closing argument, asking jury to send a message to society in general was improper because of its tendency to inflame a juror's prejudices and to divert the juror's attention from the evidence produced at trial and focus it upon extraneous and admissible matters. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in Roddenborn's closing argument, he made a statement that was similar to this. I think he said that, like, if you agree, if you side with Mr. Depp, you are sending a message to all the AB victims out there. It was something similar to that. I don't know if you guys remember what the exact quote was or if someone has a video of it, but I remember him talking about that. And I think Ben Chu and Team Johnny Depp said that an argument like that is very inappropriate because you're putting a lot of weight towards basically what this paragraph says. Okay, this paragraph says it way better than I do, but you're basically just giving the jury, you're basically misguiding the jury into thinking that, oh, you know, if we side with Johnny Depp, that means it's just going to send a bad message to everyone everywhere, which is like not true, right? In this context, it would be unfair to force Mr. Depp to use some of his limited pages in responding to the extraneous arguments. God, I love this. Just short, sweet, just straight to the point. Love it. Moreover, a back and forth between Mr. Depp and the amici on these non-issues would be a distraction and nothing useful to the court in assessing the actual legal issues before it on appeal. Oh, man. Beautiful. Ben Chu. Oh. Ben Chu, Andrew Crawford. Beautiful. Beautiful. Based on the aforesaid, the court should deny amici's motions for leave. Oh, man. Okay, so we got to wait until we hear more about this. Oh, man. Yeah. 12 pages. I love it. I love it. Very nice. Very, very nice. And they sent it over to Mr. Roddenborn, Mr. J. Ward Brown, David Axelrod, and oh my God, this is more counsel for appellant for Amber Laura Heard, counsel for Simpson amici. Like I said, I wonder if these people are also on her payroll as well, the people that prepared the amici. Wow. Wow. Okay, or maybe it was the organizations that paid for it. I don't know. Would they like pulling money together to do that? I have no idea. She wants to keep Johnny in court, so she's reaching for anything and everything. It's not like if she wins, she'll start getting movies. Context, Amber's number one foe. So true. Hi, Norman. How are you doing today? The thing is, when you lie about everything, no one will believe your truth. So even if Johnny hit her on the moment or an influence, no one's going to believe her now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to open that can of worms again because when we start talking about it, it's just so... It's complex and it's a lot deeper than what you initially think, right? I think like the more people looked into the trial, the more people were like, wow, now we can kind of understand what really happened. Hi, E. How are you doing today? What's going on? Hello. Alrighty, y'all. So next thing that we have on the stream list, we are going to watch Team Johnny Depp. So I believe we have Camille Vasquez, we have Samuel Moniz, and we have Jessica Myers. They were lawyers that were working on the Johnny Depp team, and they have an exclusive interview with Court TV. So major shout out to Court TV for getting this interview. This is part one of the interview. It is 44 minutes long, but I think we could probably skip around it because I think it does a lot of recaps. Because I don't really see too much. No, just kidding. I do see Camille. I do see Jessica. I don't see Ben Chu, though, but it's okay. No, Ben Chu. I love Camille. Didn't H have to pay the money to the court before the appeal? Well, from my understanding, Judge Penny says that she has to post the full amount of, the full amount plus 6%. So that's like the bond or something. But in order to file the appeal, I don't know if you have to put the whole amount immediately or if there's like a 90-day thing or I don't know. I feel like I looked it up and I don't remember. I feel like she had to put it up like within 90 days. Like initially just to file some of the paperwork, I think it was just like a couple hundred, like 500 or something like that, I think. But I think in order for the appeal to actually go through, she actually has to put the money up, because they don't want people to just frivolously put an appeal in just so they can delay the judgment amount just for fuck's sakes, right? So I believe you have to actually put the full amount up. Hi, Wild Seed. How are you doing today? Driving but listening. Oh, good luck. Be careful driving out there. It's holidays. People be rushing. There's some crazy people on the road. Just be careful out there. Hope you're driving safe and hope it's not raining, snowing, or anything crazy like that. Yes, Catzilla. We have Shinosuke here. I got my ex-boyfriend, John Cena. He's hanging out here as well. I turned him into a doll, And then we have Sailor Moon is a new addition because I found her. Oh, I have a Totoro thing that I should put up here. And then we have the Demon Slayer dude. I always forget what his name is, but yeah. I got 4 people just hanging out here. You know, they're just chilling today. They're just chilling. But Shit Joe's one of my favorites. If he wins the appeal, then Amber Heard's gonna have to pay the full amount to JD. Whether I don't know if he gets the 6% though. He might, like 6% interest. He might. I miss Sailor Moon. You're creating a mouse pad with the old characters of Sailor Moon. Oh my gosh! Wait a second. What is your favorite sailor? Which one? Which one's your favorite Sailor Scout? I switch around a lot. I used to really love Jupiter because she's like badass. She's like a tomboy. But then I started liking Sailor Neptune. I don't know, Sailor Neptune's just so cute. But then I also like Sailor Saturn, and then Sailor Pluto's really hot. And then, oh my god, a lot of the enemies in Sailor Moon. Oh my god, I love them all. She owes 10.35 plus 6%. That grows by the day. I don't know. Maybe she should. I mean, she did leave America, so maybe she's trying to just get the fuck out. And she thinks that, like, you know, she's in Spain, like, no one's going to go after her or anything like that. I don't know, man. She's a very interesting person indeed. Indeed. You know? I don't know, man. I feel like, as someone who's most likely a narcissist, I feel like anything she can do to poke and get at Johnny's life, she'll do it. Whether it's bad for her, I don't think she gives a fuck, you know? As long as no matter what, she's always going to be somehow involved with Johnny Depp, even though maybe not directly, but maybe through these court proceedings. I don't know. This is just, I think this is just all punishment. She's punishing Johnny Depp and everyone else for all the things that has happened to her, you know? When you stand up for yourself, I guess, you know, you deserve to get punished for that. Anyways, so yeah, let's take a look at this. This is about 45 minutes long. I don't know if I should do like 1.25 speed. I usually do a little bit faster. Yeah, we're going to do 1.25 speed. We'll be okay, though. If you guys are listening to this on like YouTube, you can just slow it back down to like 0.75, and then it'll be at 1 time speed. Although my voice will be very... actually, no, my voice would be normal to you guys because I usually speak really fast. Anyway, so we have Johnny Depp's legal team speaks with Court TV Part 1. I don't know when Part 2 is coming out, but we look forward to it. Yay! I get so excited to watch these interviews. They're so fun to watch. All right, we got the Chrome here. Oh, hello. Hello, Johnny Depp. Let me, wait, JD, why are you... Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to push you back over there a little bit. Okay, I think that looks... What? This looks small. Hold on, I'm going to make this bigger, actually. There we go. I need to resize this. All right, choto mate. I need to resize. There we go. I think we're... There we go. Oh, fuck. Oh, what's behind the story of this necklace? Oh, nothing special. Actually, I didn't wear my other necklace that has a better background story to it. But this one I just found it at the thrift store, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And yeah, I don't know. That's it. I just got it at the thrift store. But my other necklace that I have 2 rings on it. I have the ring from Lord of the Rings, and then I have the ring from Elden Ring. And I think it's just really cool and nerdy, but I don't know where it went. I can't find it. But so far, we're just wearing this one. My favorite sailor. Shut up. Popeye the Sailor Man. You know, I used to love Popeye the Sailor Man. I used to eat a ton of spinach because Popeye the Sailor Man made it look really, really good. So, I always loved Mars, and really, Sailor Moon always got on my nerves. Oh man, she was always so annoying. I like her when she's like a little bit older. Hi Rachel, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. She doesn't have to put the money up, but you have to put the money up if you don't want the collection efforts. Can I request you something? Maybe try. Shoot your shot. Let's see. Evening from Denmark. Looking delicious. The hell? Looking delicious as always. Who are you talking to? Oh, no, you even tagged me in it. Oh, my God. I'm okay. Thank you. Hello. All right, guys. Let's watch this interview.
Johnny Depp has been in the public spotlight for over 30 years, an A-list celebrity who at one point was the highest paid movie actor in history. His list of acting credits is long.
Who's the highest paid movie actor right now? Like, The Rock, right, I think? But I think it's because The Rock literally does, like, 1 million movies a year. I love The Rock, by the way. I'll watch anything he's in, except for that one movie he was in with the man, it was this really weird movie where they built like one of the highest skyscraper in the world, and he had to climb up it to rescue his family. Oh, it was so fucking stupid. But other than that, I love the Rock movies. That one was
but on the
really
top
bad.
is his portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean series of movies. This role made him lots of money and exposed him
Lord of the
to a
Rings,
whole new legion of fans.
I wanted to get the official Lord of the Rings ring. They were actually the company that made the one that was on set or something. But oh my God, it was so expensive. It was like, if I wanted to get real gold, it was like 900 or something like that. Or if I can just get non-real gold, but then I'd be allergic to it, it was like 280 or 300. And it was so expensive.
Johnny Depp met fellow actor Amber Heard when they shot a movie together in Puerto Rico called The Rum Diary. They fell in love while on the road.
I feel so bad because The Rum Diary was like his baby. This is like a movie that he was making, you know, for his friend that had passed away. And oh my God, I feel so bad for him because like he could probably never read the books ever again or even watch the movie ever again because she's in it or reminds him of her and all that stuff. Like, I just feel so bad for him.
Promoting the movie and entered into a dysfunctional, tumultuous marriage that ended quickly. But after their final divorce settlement agreement, Amber wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post talking about being a victim of domestic violence. This op-ed was the reason Johnny sued Amber for defamation.
And again, Amber Heard and her team, they maintained that the op-ed did not damage Johnny Depp's reputation at all. They said that he was already on the down spiral.
It was a case that many thought was impossible to win. A public figure suing for defamation in the United States is not the type of case that is considered winnable. But as the world watched, Johnny did win, not only inside the courtroom, but in the court of public opinion.
Do you guys off the top of your head, do you guys know any public figures that won a defamation case aside from Johnny Depp? I gotta look this up. Hi, Strange Machine. How are you doing today? What is up?
How did he do it? Tonight, we get in-depth insight into the trial of the year as Camille Vasquez and other members of Johnny's legal team speak with Court TV's Chanley Painter. And Johnny's lead attorney, Ben Chu, joins us live. For the next hour, we go behind the scenes in part one of our special look at Johnny Depp's legal team. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. This is a special hour here on Closing Arguments,
Hello,
part one
Vinny.
of our two-part special, taking a look at the trial of the year, the decade, I think really the trial of this century. Anyhow, when we think of legal teams, the first one that comes to mind for me was O.J. Simpson's so-called dream team that seemed to win a case that many thought couldn't be won.
There's Rob
O.J. Simpson
Kardashian
accused
there.
of double murder. There was the car chase. Everything was pointing towards O.J. Simpson is a double murderer. O.J. Simpson is going to go to prison for the rest of his
Did anyone here watch the OJ trial? I watched like documentaries about it.
life.
Never watched the actual trial.
At the end of the
though.
day, that dream team of lawyers convinced the jury that there was reasonable doubt. And O.J.
But you know, I think OJ had a lot of support outside the court, though. Like I think there was a lot of people that was rooting for OJ outside of the trial. Like they had their posters up and everything.
Simpson was found not guilty. And that was quite an accomplishment. And for Johnny Cochran and everyone else who was a member of that team, it was a big, big deal. Really big deal. But I want to compare what they did with what Johnny Depp was up against, because Johnny Depp's trial is different. It wasn't a criminal case, it's a defamation case, which is different. In a criminal trial, to win as a defense attorney, you just have to raise a reasonable doubt. And no offense to criminal defense attorneys out there, but prosecutors are the ones who have to prove something. And it's an enormous burden beyond any and all reasonable doubt. Defense attorneys like the Dream Team just have to convince the jury that there is some reasonable doubt, and they win the case.
And that's what happened with the Casey trial.
You bring a
When Jose Baez introduced, hey, maybe, you know, little Kaylee, maybe she had drowned accidentally in the family pool, that planted the doubt in the juror's mind.
defamation case, it's different. The burden's on you.
Oh, you saw the whole
You
trial.
now have to prove it. It's not that you're just trying to show that they can't prove it. You have to prove it. And when you're a celebrity who's claiming that you've been defamed, a public figure, the burden is even greater and more difficult. Now, for Johnny Depp, don't forget, before this trial ever happened, there was a trial over in the UK. Johnny lost that case. And different system of justice, a judge, one person made the decision for whatever that's worth. But in that case that Johnny lost, the burden was on the other side because it's the UK. Their system is a little backwards. Anyhow, so
He said their
comes
system's a
into
little backwards. You think he meant it as, as an insult right there? Because I think he could have meant backwards as in like they do things backwardsly, like the opposite. Or he just meant like, oh yeah, their system's a little backwards because they sided with the news group.
the trial here in the United States. Public
we
figure
need to
suing for
go jab
defamation
sometimes, okay?
after having lost a similar case, not the same case, but a similar case over in the UK. And what we witnessed is what I'm referring to as the miracle in Fairfax. To completely turn that thing around, to win, to actually win. And I'll be honest, the first time I looked at this case, I said, okay, I'm open-minded and all, but I just know as an attorney what a mountain you had to climb here. And it was done. So how exactly was this case won? Well, you've got a great team of attorneys who are bringing it, are figuring out.
Like I said, I wish they were able to focus more on the Adam Waldman statements, but there has to be a reason why they didn't pursue it further.
Who should testify, how they should testify, what questions we should ask, how we should dress, how we should make the arguments, everything from start to finish. So, again, in these next 2 nights right here on Closing Arguments, we're going to take an in-depth look.
So part 2 should be out today
Johnny
then.
Depp's legal team. Chanley Painter, Court TV legal correspondent, who was there for the whole trial from start to finish. Sat down with Camille Vasquez and some other members of the team. Let's take a look.
Oh, I love Chanley. She's so bubbly.
Who is Camille Vasquez? Who is Camille Vasquez? Oh boy. You know, I think what you see is what you get. My parents have 2
Okay, I'm going to slow it down a little bit, actually. They actually do speak pretty fast.
girls. I am an aunt. I am a friend and a colleague. I was pretty much told that I was going to be a lawyer. I guess I was a pretty mouthy child, and I had opinions about a lot of things, and I expressed them passionately.
Who is Jessica Myers?
I am a woman who grew up in Massachusetts. I knew from a very young age I wanted to be an attorney. In high school, I read To Kill a Mockingbird.
And just a reminder, Jessica was the one who did the direct examination of Johnny Depp.
And was sort of
with Ben
sold
Roddenborn
on
as a
advocating
cross-examiner.
for people.
So tell me about yourself.
Well,
Oh, Sam! Oh my God, Sam's a homeboy. Dude, guys, if you guys don't know who Samuel Moniz is, he wrote some spicy emails, okay? Anytime when Elaine would start doing her Elaine things, Sam was like, keeping her in check. I made a video about it somewhere, so check it out if you haven't already. The emails are spicy as hell. I hope he writes my emails for me someday in the future.
grew up in California, grew up in Sacramento.
Is this what you've always wanted to do?
Jared, make
Be a
it look
lawyer?
good today.
No, I wound up in law school because I couldn't think of what else to do with my life.
Oh, God.
I had no real plan coming out of college,
Oh, God,
but
no.
I seemed to have a certain aptitude for law. I'm naturally argumentative.
How did you come
good
to
at
even
writing, too.
represent Johnny Depp?
We were handling a couple litigations out of California, so I was staffed on those cases.
I'm an aunt.
And at that time, I was one of the few women on the team. And I think that being a woman helped me forge a relationship with Johnny that maybe some of the male part.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I love how Johnny Depp had a lot of young people on his team. I just loved it. And he had Wayne Dennison on his team too. Wayne Dennison has a little bit of like a stutter, kind of. And I'm so glad that Johnny Depp was like, hey, you know, you're fucking doing it. Like, I don't know, I love it. Because I feel like sometimes people want to be really nitpicky about certain people's like idiosyncrasies and make sure they're going to come out as like perfect. They're going to communicate well. Like, I don't know. I just love how they had young people on there. He gave young people a chance. Wayne Dennison was on there and he did an amazing fucking job. Fucking Wizard player.
And I was able to learn probably more about him than he knows about himself, as I say to him sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually originally brought into the case because Ms. Heard had filed, I believe it was her second demur, which, you know, is a motion to dismiss. And this was, I think, probably her strongest one. It was making the argument that the statements were not defamatory because they never mentioned Johnny. So I was brought in to brief that.
I wasn't immediately involved in that, but pretty quickly things began to spiral and they needed more hands on the team. So Camille said, want to jump on board? And I said, fine.
We believed in
He handled the emails with Elaine. What if Elaine's still trying? If they subject to their own questions on the Age Legal team. The guy who didn't want to sell Monopoly properties, the bench. What? Having young people on the team was a conscious choice from what I heard. Yeah, that's what Camille Vasquez did mention that in a different interview. I don't know if she's going to mention in today's interview as well.
Johnny, first and foremost. So we believed in him, we believed in our case strategy, and we believed in one another. We were really confident in our abilities to present this case in the most effective, truthful, and passionate way that we could. I think in our case here in the US, we really focused on the big lies. not every single lie and exposing her to be untruthful.
In preparation for this trial, what was your team's game plan in taking?
And trust me, there were a lot of lies that they have to go through. Oh my goodness. If you guys ever looked into the Australia stuff, that's pretty wild too. The one that involved the assistant, also involved Johnny's assistant. Like, it involved a lot of people. And it was, I don't know, man. She's a POS, man. It's actually really sad.
Taking on this case?
We figured if he
it's
could
pretty
tell his
sad.
story, and once and for all, after 6 years, he can deny these allegations outright, and he can tell the story and help give the jury a reason why she would make this up. We thought that there was really...
It's because it would be too convoluted, I would say. You don't want to confuse the jury. You want to actually present the lies that are easy to, debunk, right? But like the Australia stuff was so messy, I feel like it would have gotten the jurors really confused.
a very small chance he could lose.
The beautiful thing about this team is I think we very quickly, everyone is incredibly talented, but people have their strengths, right? And so I think we sort of recognize what those strengths were.
No one had ever, in 5 decades, no one had ever accused Johnny Depp of being abusive of any kind with a woman. That's why it was such a jolt. A false allegation can devastate a career.
Love Ben's
and it can
classic.
devastate a family. And the evidence will show that Ms. Heard's false allegations had a significant impact on Mr. Depp's family and his ability to work
Oh, this is opening
in the
statements, I
profession
believe.
he loved.
We started talking about who was going to do what probably a week before, as we were writing the opening statement. I remember as a team, we collectively told Ben that we thought the opening needed to be split, where he would introduce Johnny,
It's good that they
and
split.
then the person that was going to go after Amber was going to be the person that was going to do that from the beginning.
Right.
In this trial, Ms. Heard will undoubtedly present photos that supposedly show injuries she sustained as a result of the claimed abuse by Mr. Depp.
Look at
Here's
Jody's
what you
hair.
should keep in mind when you see these photographs. First, the evidence and expert testimony from a forensic pathologist, a doctor, will show that the injuries reflected in these photographs are not consistent with the brutal allegations of abuse Ms. Heard had.
Oh my god, we're getting Secret Window vibes, are we not? Guys, if you haven't watched Secret Windows yet, go watch Secret Windows, okay? It's like such a 90s movie, but oh my god. It's pretty good. This is such Secret
You
Windows
will
vibes.
not see a single photograph of the vast majority of the abuse alleged by Ms. Heard. Not one. And there is not a single photograph or video.
But the thing is, we had photographs of it after, and that's what really hurt her. I don't know. I guess she just forgot that being a celebrity, you have a lot of pictures being taken, paparazzis around you everywhere. I don't know. I'm very confused.
Showing Mr. Depp becoming physically violent towards Ms. Heard.
As a lawyer, you have to have a critical eye towards the evidence, because if you just believe your client blindly, you're doing a disservice, because you have to anticipate that someone may not believe him or her, and so you have to be able to figure out a way to convince that person that your client's telling the truth.
And we will continue watching more of Chanley's interview, but we've got a special guest ourselves tonight. Joining us in Washington, D.C.,
Who?
trial attorney partner with Brown Rudnick, and the lead attorney who represented
Wait,
Johnny
really?
Depp during his defamation case, Ben Chew.
Oh shit, I didn't know he interviewed Ben Chew. I know he interviewed Ben Chew for the Casey stuff. Hold on, is this gonna be the same thing or is it gonna be different? This might be the Casey stuff.
Back with us, Ben. Great to see you. Thanks for coming aboard tonight.
Hi, Ben.
You're most welcome.
Say
Betty.
hi to
It's
Ben,
great
guys.
to see you. Thanks for having me again.
So
He's taking time out of his busy schedule. Say hi to us.
let's go here. Something that Camille said. We believed in Johnny. When did you first meet Johnny Depp, and what did you have any preconceived ideas about Johnny Depp before you got to know him?
I was introduced to Johnny by a mutual friend, another attorney, and I really didn't have
Adam
any
Waldman?
preconceived notions about Johnny other than that he was somewhat of a mysterious figure. He was a great actor, I knew that, but he really was very private. So until this, ironically, he really had been not reclusive, but he was someone who really valued his private life, and he kept his family life quiet.
And as you mentioned, until this, where everything spilled out into the courtroom. We've got a lot to get to this hour, so Ben Chu is going to stay with us. As we continue to get an inside look at Johnny Depp's legal team. Also, folks, coming up next hour.
Coming up
Since
next
Ford
hour.
activated the contriver
Oh, the Idaho stuff. It's wild that they haven't found the person yet.
Outside the courthouse in Fairfax County, Virginia, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chu after Johnny Depp
Hey, Ben! Love the outfit you wore to Johnny's concert.
won his defamation case.
Rain.
Tonight, we're getting an inside look at Johnny Depp's legal team. And still with me, Ben Chu. Ben, how daunting was it to prepare for this case? The amount of detail, the amount of years, and all of this, the evidence and the witnesses.
Vinny, we filed the case on March 1, 2019, and normally under Virginia state procedure, in Fairfax anyway, you generally get a trial within 1 year of filing the complaint.
1 year. Jeez. Oh, my God.
But of course, everybody was hit with COVID, including Fairfax County, and that entailed at least 2 continuances of the trial date. So what would have been frenzied preparation.
Yeah, I'm glad that they had time, all the time to prepare. Holy crap. 1 year to do all that discovery, that research. Oh, my goodness.
Of discovery while fighting off 4 or 5 separate sets of dispositive motions would have been condensed into that period. But as it happened, it ended up, we tried the case about 3 years later. The practical effect of that was there were a lot more depositions. I think Ms. Heard noticed about 80 depositions. She had some funding from insurance companies that provided a war chest that we really didn't have, but we responded as we needed to.
And as you prepare for this case,
Love that little jab there.
at what point do you go start seeing and hearing the evidence, whether it's witnesses, depositions? Are you feeling any sense of confidence?
We always had confidence in Johnny. As Camille referred to in her interview with Chanley, we had represented Johnny on a couple of other cases and gotten to know him very well. And we had first heard the story.
Oh, that's right, because he also represented Johnny when Johnny was suing his, wait, was it the business partner or his previous lawyer? I forgot who it was.
Story of his relationship with Amber Heard before we even contemplated the lawsuit. So we were comfortable with Johnny and that he was telling the truth. But the witnesses, you have to see as they come up. And more witnesses came forward, people who really were disinterested. They had no reason to support Johnny, but they came forward and they told very credible stories that supported Johnny's narrative. Their life played out in public, so
especially during the rebuttal,
saw what was going on.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see another trial quite like this one. Ben Chu with us the whole hour. Chanley Painter sat down with other members of the team.
Yay.
Other than your client, which witnesses were the most important for your case?
I think all of them played such a key role. There were so many people that wanted to testify in this case. They felt compelled to tell the truth. And so, we started with Christy Dombrowski, Johnny's sister. And we did that again on purpose because jury trials are your opportunity to tell a story, a persuasive one, but a story nonetheless. And so we started from the beginning, which was Johnny's sister. Who is Johnny Depp? Who was Johnny Depp before he became the person that we all know as Johnny Depp?
How,
oh my God, these old pictures
did
of
Johnny
Johnny
react when his mother would hit him?
He was a typical little boy where if it hurt, he would cry. That was it. I mean, for the most part, he just wanted to get away from it.
It was about giving a why to certain members of that jury. Why would this person make up these allegations? And I think by Christy sharing a little bit about their childhood and Johnny's reaction to the abuse that they both sustained, started to paint a picture of who this person was many years later when he met Miss Heard and they had conflict.
Tell me about your role that you played during the trial.
Hey, Joe.
I was involved in a lot of the trial preparation, so drafting the motions in limine.
Elaine. Look at Judge Petty. Oh, what's going on here?
Arguing a lot of those. I took on several trial witnesses, including Gina Deuters.
That was sort of a moment in the trial that really blew up on social media, especially. She starts her testimony.
Gina Deuters was dismissed during her testimony.
She's about 15 minutes in, and then there's this sidebar out of nowhere.
You've been watching, so you have seen parts of this trial?
Yeah.
Okay, and witness testimonies?
Yeah, I've seen clips of...
You've seen everything. Yeah. All right, does anybody have any follow-up questions?
Ms. Deuters, have you been watching?
It doesn't matter, she's been watching clips of witness testimony. All right, you're excused, ma'am. You can have your excuse.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I was conducting Gina's direct examination, and somebody in the gallery, a member of Miss Heard's party in the gallery, passed up to one of her attorneys a phone with screenshots of what
I think chat knows who that was.
appeared to be Gina Deuters posting on social media about the trial. What actually happened, ultimately it turned out, was that Gina had seen a couple of clips, a couple of isolated clips, just because people had been sending her clips on social media. But she hadn't been seeking it out, and she hadn't actually been watching any significant amount of it. And the apparent social media posts had actually been from the year prior.
Trial.
Dr. Shannon Curry. She was almost a crowd favorite. You could tell she connected with this jury. How important was Dr. Curry's findings and conclusions to your case?
As a result of the work that you performed, did you form any opinions with respect to Ms. Heard?
I did.
What were those opinions?
The results of Ms. Heard's evaluation supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
Oh, look at Miss Heard. She don't like that. Yo, she got her bitch face on. She's like, I'm writing notes right now. Elaine, you better get all of this done.
Having a psychologist say, this is what IPV looks like. This is what PTSD looks like. This is what it doesn't look like. Was going to be persuasive.
There was one witness that you...
You know, I'm actually really disappointed because I thought Dr. Dawn Hughes would do a lot better. Dr. Dawn Hughes, I feel like she dropped the ball. She did pretty good when she was talking about herself, but then when she was talking about Amber's relationship with Johnny Depp, like, I don't know, she just sounded like a gossip tabloid. It was like really weird. Didn't seem as professional as Dr. Curry.
You guys put forth early on, the marriage counselor.
With Ms. Heard, he was triggered, and they engaged in what I saw as mutual abuse.
That was her opinion. That doesn't mean that she was saying that there was mutual physical violence on both sides. Again, no witness came forward and said, I saw Johnny Depp physically abuse Ms. Heard with my own eyes.
Any trial, you're going to have some testimony that you love and some testimony that you hate. And there's never going to be a trial when you don't end at least one day of it going, oh no, that was bad.
Which one?
And that was the case here. And I think we put on enough evidence showing that Johnny Depp has a lot of good qualities, is fundamentally decent, is fundamentally nonviolent, that ultimately that...
Yeah, a lot of people got on Dr. Hughes about that too. I thought it was weird that she was making those statements as well, but I knew she was trying to be more specific towards the Johnny Depp and Amber, but the way she said it seemed like, you know, it was kind of weird.
That comment, I don't think, made much difference.
All right, when we come back, we're going to take a look at Johnny Depp's testimony through the eye down.
Ms. Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing, brought these disturbing criminal acts against me that were not based in any species of truth, but never.
If you guys ever watch Johnny Depp interview, he talks exactly like this. The cadence is exactly the same. It's like not like, I don't know, because like it's not like he's like trying to play the victim or anything. Like this is exactly how he talks. There's this other video that we were watching. He was on stage and he was being interviewed with a bunch of people there, and he's already been like a seasoned actor. Like he's used to be on stage and stuff like that. But he talks exactly just like this, which to me just like yells like authenticity.
Did I myself reach the point of striking
Hi, Sinbad.
Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman.
Guys, I like Dobby, okay? Why you guys calling her Dobby? Dobby's cool, okay? Dobby's a cool dude. He's a cool little duder.
Johnny Depp on the
No, I'm insulting
stand.
Dobby right
Tonight we're taking an in-depth look at Johnny Depp's legal team. Ben Chu is with us this hour. But Chanley Painter also sat down with the rest of the team, including Camille Vasquez. Here they are talking about Johnny Depp on the stand.
It's been 6 years of trying times. It's very strange when one day you're Cinderella, so to speak, and then in 0.6 seconds, you're Quasimodo.
Let's talk about your client. He spent 4 days on the stand.
Rip Quasimodo.
Early on in your case in chief, too.
Wait, so has Amber heard Quasimodo now?
Telling his story. How do you think it went overall?
I think it went really, really well. I was so proud of him. I really was. He was unapologetically himself.
So I was always a very private person.
I think it's so interesting how calculating she is with the days that she thinks she's gonna like. So like, on the days that Johnny Depp was on the stand and on the days that she was on the stand, she'd always had like minimal makeup on, you know, because she knew the cameras would be turned towards her, and then maybe she'll have some moments where she cries, and maybe her mascara won't get messed up or anything. I don't know. It's just it's too calculating for me. She should have just done either all makeup, no makeup, all the days. Be
So
consistent.
for me to
Don't act like you're playing a role of your life, you know?
come up here and stand before you or sit before you all and spill the truth is quite exposing, and it's unfortunate that it's not only exposing for myself, it's exposing for my family, it's exposing for Miss Heard, it's exposing for, it never had to go in this direction. And so I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I know that I'm doing the right thing.
We knew fairly early on that Camille would be handling Amber's cross-examination, and so I think we thought it was important to not have the same.
Before Camille handled Amber's cross-examination, did you guys have any faith in her? Be honest. Anyone? JD has not seen The Rum Diary, does not watch any movies he's acted in. That's what I heard. I heard he doesn't watch it because he's just like, I'm done and over it. As the book, she's not taking that from him. Exactly, seems so manipulative, which is. She looks more like her sister without the makeup. Amber is Casey without minus the M word. Yeesh. Yeesh. Yes, I did. No, she seems too young in my eyes to handle it. Not sure if it's confirmed, but I saw Aquaman 2. It is a no-go, completely getting rid of it. Wait, what do you mean? Aquaman 2 ain't out. What are you talking about? At least you got some inside access. Give us the access. The Rock, she kept looking at him kind of smirking, pretending to write. Until Camille, I thought there was a chance that JD could lose. I honestly thought Camille, I'm sorry, I completely judged the book by its covers. But when I saw Camille, I'm like, oh my God, she looks so sweet, so nice. And like Amber Heard, I knew she was like, that's a hard narcissist to beat. Like I said, I think she's like an S-tier fucking boss, okay? S-tier fucking villain, boss, whatever you want to call it. But she's up there. She's up there. Along with like Homelander, along with Cersei. I wasn't sure Camille Vasquez had a chance. But the moment that we saw Amber Heard in her Dr. Evil suit and Camille Vasquez was there and she opened her mouth, I was like, oh, Ooh, she got this. Damn, she's spicy. All right, let's see. Let's go.
Woman going after Amber, handling Johnny's direct examination. So I think the idea was that it would be best for women to handle both of those witnesses, but they couldn't be the same one. And so as the second most senior woman on the trial team at the time,
she's like in her
that
30s, by
came
the
to
way.
me, and I was obviously, again, more than happy to say yes to that.
Homelander's
Mr.
lost
Depp,
sister.
how did you feel about your father when he left? When it came to the day, I wanted to be as, background as possible. I wore beige, I had my hair back. I just wanted to be a voice in the background and have him be the focal point.
So how did you prepare him?
From my perspective, it was really just important that
Like, the difference between the preparation that Jessica's talking about versus the manipulation that Amber does, it's completely different, because Jessica, she talks about, like, taking her hair back. She wants to turn her, appearance down a little bit because Johnny Depp is the star. She's, like, soft-spoken. But the difference between that and Amber Heard, like, choosing which days to wear makeup and not wear makeup, and then, like, I don't know, it just, there's a whole world of a difference, because with Amber, you can tell that she's just trying to manipulate you. She's trying to make you feel bad. She's trying to make you guys feel bad for her. She's trying to look as victimly as she can. But I'm just very confused because the cameras are on all the time. Like I said, I think she should have just done one thing. She should have chose either all makeup or no makeup. The days that she showed up with no makeup was such a stark difference than the days that she had makeup on. And I felt like she should have just, like, either maybe just tone it down maybe just a little bit, but she went like 180, and to me it felt a little too much, a little too manipulative to me.
he be able to tell his story in the most uninterrupted way. And because up until this point, it really had been Amber's story that was out in the world. And so we wanted him to be able to tell, the world who he was and tell his side of this relationship that really had been one-sided in the public.
What people finally got to see was the real Johnny Depp. Funny, a little bit
quirky, weird show.
Annoyed.
Oh, a little bit annoyed. I was gonna say he's like quirky.
Times, frustrated, I would say, with the process.
But I think he did a good job, because there were times where when you're getting cross-examined, sometimes you do get miffed by the opposing lawyer that's like doing the cross-examination, right? Because, they're trying to get under your skin. And so I think he did a really good job that even though he was annoyed at Rottenborn, he would sometimes like turn it around a little bit and make it into like little funny like jokes here and there. But when Amber was being cross-examined by Camille Vasquez, there was a lot of like defense mechanism that was up. There was a lot of like, how sometimes when you're annoyed, it's really hard to hide your true self. Her fucking claws came out, her fangs came out. Like I don't know, man. She was like, dude, you could see her scathing side. Like when someone gets under your skin, it's really hard to play the role and act like you're like, oh, I'm very soft-spoken, like a very nice person, but like, sometimes it's hard to like hide your true self. And I think that's what Camille did a really good job at. She brought the true Amber out so many times, man.
The objections that, but just real.
Oh, Mr.
I believe
Rottenborn.
the 18th
And
was
2 years
quite
before.
was quite possibly, maybe that was the online version that came out first.
2 years before
there's a
either the
very
online or the
different-
print.
I'm sorry, I was just
No,
going
I
to
think
finish my
you
answer.
answered my question, sir. Thank you.
Oh. Do you have a drinking problem, Johnny?
Objection calls for hearsay. What the doctors told him.
I'm not sure he's saying what the doctors told him.
I think that's what's about to be testified to.
Oh, if you can make that clear, I guess.
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one.
I think we developed a very good rapport. I think I find him very funny. I think he has an incredible sense of humor about incredibly painful things, right? And I appreciated his ability and willingness to sort of bare his soul in front of everyone. I've always had an appreciation for sort of psychology and how that impacts our work as lawyers. And so with Johnny, I think that appreciation really helped him feel, I hope, comfortable to tell his story.
What have you
Yeah,
lost as a
meanwhile-
result of Ms. Heard making?
Meanwhile, apparently, like, I don't know, man, I feel like it's a world of difference having Johnny as your client versus having Amber as your client. Dude, apparently, some of like I think the law tubers that were actually present during the trial, I think it was after Elaine had done the redirect, and remember she bombed so bad that, you know, Camille Vasquez kept objecting to like everything. Elaine tried to rephrase the questions, but she couldn't, and she kept getting, I don't know, like it was really bad. I think that was the day that like they said they found Elaine crying in the bathroom and stuff like that. But like, I mean, just think about it, you know, whole complete difference in what type of client you have. Like, I don't know, Amber, to me, like, I don't know, this is all conjecture, but just seeing from what we've seen so far from hundreds of hours of her reactions on footage on court, on the trial and stuff like that, like, I don't know, man. She seems like the type of person who'd be like, kind of like an asshole, probably, you know, probably treat you like she's like you're lower than her. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but she seems like the type of person, just from the hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage that we've seen, you know, like her like little idiosyncrasies, you know, some of the faces she makes, how she like kind of like, you know, talks back at like the other lawyers and stuff like that.
Making these allegations against.
They asked a question about Johnny's pee-pee. Oh, I vaguely remember that. What was the context of that again?
It's you.
Nothing less than everything.
It's a good response.
Because when the allegations were made, when the allegations were rapidly circling the globe, telling people that I was a drunken, cocaine-fueled menace who beat women suddenly in my 50s. It's over. You know, you're done.
He's not everyone's cup of tea. He uses bad language. He's, you know, struggled with sobriety his whole life. But he didn't do this. I didn't believe that a man in his 50s wakes up one day and starts to abuse their partner.
I think he was genuine. I think people know he's an actor and they expected to sort of see him up there acting a bit.
And a little comment about the whole acting thing, how people are like, oh my God, like, you know, they're just acting. They're actors. They do this for their careers. Like, there's a difference between having lines fed to you and knowing what's going to happen in the script, knowing how someone's going to respond to it, versus trying to act for your life when you're on the stand. Because one, you don't know what questions you're going to get. It's about your personal life. They're going to dive deep into it, and you don't ever know what the other person's going to say. So when people say like, oh my God, they're actors, like, of course they're acting, and like, you can try the best that you can, but it's going to be really effing hard because it's into your personal life. And like I said, there's no scripts or anything. You don't know what the other lawyers are going to say. You don't know what's going to happen. It's hard. And that's like a mental gymnastics right there, to try to like act everything and like, while at the same time trying to be genuine. That's very, very tough.
And
in my opinion,
he wasn't. I mean, he was talking about
like, you can do the acting role stuff with you and your counsel when they do the direct examination, but when you get cross-examined, that's going to be really tough.
His really painful memories from his childhood. He was talking about these really painful experiences he had had in his relationship with Miss Heard and in the aftermath after she had made allegations against him. And I think he wasn't afraid to really get into how he felt, how it affected him. And at the same time, he took ownership for his role, right? And I think that was compelling to people.
Unforgettable. Ben Chu still with us.
Ben!
The leader of Johnny Depp's legal team. Ben?
Ben always just looks so nonchalant.
And we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the fact that this trial was about what it was about, which was his entire life. Mm-hmm. How do you have that conversation? Or did he know by bringing a defamation case like this that the world was going to know everything?
Hi, Angelica.
Yeah, we had a long conversation with him. You know, before any defamation case, you have to do a lot of due diligence into.
I really do wonder how much effort is a lawyer going to put into doing due diligence, right? Like I didn't know how I didn't know what the process was for lawyers when they accept a case. I thought they just like accept it and then they just figure out as it happens, you know? But like I wonder how much due diligence is really done, right? So if that's the case, then when a lawyer passes down, like, you know how sometimes there are lawyers that will take your case initially and they'll like, okay, like, we think someone else should represent you. And your case gets passed down to like other lawyers and other lawyers. Like, could that look really bad? Could that kind of mean that the lawyers that did their due diligence found that what you're saying was BS and they don't want to handle your case and they're like, okay, we're just going to pass it on to someone else. Like, I don't know. I always wondered about the due diligence thing.
The truth, because obviously, as you well know, the truth is always a defense
Where's the
in any
alpaca?
defamation case.
It's probably in the background somewhere.
And we were confident that he was telling the truth, but then you get into some ancillary issues, which is, all right, we're satisfied that these allegations were false, but there are other things that may come in, you know, the alleged substance abuse, that kind of thing. He's a very thoughtful person. And he weighed all of that. And as I think you just heard in the snippet, he wasn't embarrassed because ultimately he knew he was doing the right thing.
So, when do you think Elaine's going to start giving interviews again? Elaine, where you at?
And I really think that he was doing it for his family. I mean, his family knew that he didn't do this, but I think he felt that they should not go through life with the stigma of other people thinking that. And,
and especially with Lily Rose Depp, his daughter, being a figure as well. Like, she's like doing like movie roles or TV shows. I forgot which one it was for the HBO one. She's like famous. She's like a model and stuff like that. Like, this could have affected her career as well, right? I'm not really sure what his son does, Jack, but do you guys know anything about Jack? Does he do anything like that? Does he like act, or is he just like chill and doesn't do like any Hollywood stuff?
my brother Peter came up with a great line that we used in
Ben has a brother?
my part of the
Peter?
closing, which was that this was, you know, the only Me Too case without any other Me Too's. In other words, you think of all the others, and there's several who come forward after the first.
Well, there was Ellen Barkin, but Ellen Barkin's testimony was, or sorry, deposition video was like, I don't know, man. Like, it was from like 30 years ago when Johnny Depp was much younger. And like when she said that he threw the bottle at her and they dug deep into that, she was like, well, actually, he didn't throw the bottle at me, but I was in the room and it was like there. Or, like, I don't know. It's just like, okay, why are you here? Like, this is the best they can do to find someone else to testify against Johnny Depp, someone that was in a relationship with him.
Allegation is made.
Oh, Peter's an artist?
Mr. Depp has been with many women in his life, some of whom he's disappointed, and not one of them, not one, came forward after she first made the allegation on May 27th.
Oh, Ben Chu is talking about, so usually when an allegation, or sorry, an alligator comes out, there will be other women who will come out as well. Be like, oh my God, like this happened to you. This also happened to me. And then other women be like, oh my God, this also happened to me as well. This is crazy. Our stories are lining up. He did the same thing to us.
2016.
So that is what Ben is referring
to.
And
I think that was very important. And I think it was something that we stressed. And that was not a claim Ms. Heard could make.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a claim Ms. Heard could make, because she had a record of violence against a partner, or at least alleged violence, and that's not something that Johnny had. That really is so significant. Is your brother a lawyer? He's not. He is a comedian and an artist.
What? He's a comedian and an artist? What? Does he do any stand-up comedy anywhere? Where? This is DC, right? What? He's got a brother that's a comedian and artist.
Very talented, but he's a great word.
Yo, shout him out. What's his Instagram?
Smith. So I borrowed that line from him. Absolutely, and it's so true. Such a big part of the case. Ben Chu staying with us. We're going to have more of our in-depth. But for 1-year-old Ben Waters committed.
CH's claim against 2019 2911. Mr. Depp.
Everyone in chat kept pointing out to me that this was the same dress that she wore when she won the UK. Well, not won, but when the UK trial decided against Johnny. I don't know if it's true, but it kind of looks like it.
Claim against Ms. Heard.
Hi, Maleficent.
1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition, quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Oh, man. I wonder how long it took for that to sink in. Because, like, that was actually kind of a confusing statement. It's like, wait, what? Wait, yes? Wait, is that for me or against me? Wait a second. Look at Elaine. Elaine looked like she knew it. She was already expecting it. I don't know. Elaine looked like she was already defeated.
Wow.
Or like that, or Elaine just took it nonchalantly. She's like, okay, well, kind of figured that would happen.
Wow. What a moment. I still call it the miracle in Fairfax. Unbelievable. We're taking an in-depth look at Johnny Depp's legal team tonight to figure out how that miracle was pulled off. Chanley Painter sat down with Camille Vasquez and some other members.
Wait, really? From the oh my God, is this the same dress from the TRO? She was wearing black. Interesting.
Members of the team. Let's take a listen to more of that interview.
Now, I've heard that you guys were called the Black Pearl.
So we told you.
I don't know.
So, yes, this is true. We are the Black Pearl.
But not cursed.
Not cursed. Though that was...
Wait, if they're the Black Pearl, what about Team Member Heard? What's the opposing one? What was the Davy Jones? No, Davy Jones is cool, though. I really like Davy Jones. Davy Jones is, oh, what was his ship called again? I don't remember.
It's, contemplated when we were coming up with a team name.
Ben kind of came up with this, I think it was Ben, that he would just start referring to us as the Black Pearl. So every
jar
email
of dirt. Stop. The Black Pearl versus the jar of dirt. Oh my God.
I get from Ben pretty much starts off with Black Pearl, comma, and goes into telling us whatever he wants.
Oh, the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, that's a cool name. I like the Flying Dutchman. Hi, Jill. We'll do a jar of dirt is funny.
Whatever he wants us to do. And that's just how we refer to ourselves. It took.
Obviously, it's the ship that Jack Sparrow is on or whatever. Truth be told, I actually haven't seen a lot of the pirates, so I know it's bad. Well, what's interesting about this is that we had some real big fans of Johnny and his work on the team. And they happen to be some of the people that wrote a lot of the briefs, and Jessica Myers actually is a huge fan of Johnny Depp's and his films.
Yeah, so I grew up watching his movies, as I think many have. So when I would write the briefs, very often there would just be little tidbits that there would be a phrase or something that it would make me happy to drop it in, and I don't know that anyone else would notice. Camille says she did sometimes. I don't know if the courts notice, but hopefully not, actually. But it was something to sort of make what can be sometimes an overwhelming and difficult job a little more fun.
And Johnny seemed like someone who was so upbeat the whole time. So
God, she looks so good with short hair. I wish I could pull off short hair, but I can't. That looks really good on her.
He was very much a part of your team as well.
There is a funny story about Johnny during the trial. He was very involved. So after court, we would come back to the hotel we were all staying at, and we would meet and we would debrief, and then we would talk about what was happening the next day. And there was definitely a rapport built between all of us. He played a pretty good practical joke on all of us. We had a war room that was down the hall from where he was staying. All of a sudden, someone knocks on the war room door, and there is a very elderly man outside who just comes barging into the war room and really had people going and scared because we didn't know who this person was. And then we heard the laugh, and the laugh is unmistakably Johnny. And it's actually one of the disguises he uses when he goes out.
Tell me about Benchu.
Wait, what? He has a disguise. Wait, what's the disguise? Johnny Depp, old man disguise? What's the disguise? What does it look like? Anyone have a picture of what it looks like? I'm so curious.
You gotta love Ben. He's honestly one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. He's a genuinely nice guy. He gives people a lot of opportunities that they wouldn't ordinarily get at their level. He really sets his ego aside and decides what's going to be best for the case.
Let's replay that.
I sets opportunities that they wouldn't. He's a genuinely nice guy. He gives people a lot of opportunities that they wouldn't ordinarily get at their level. He really sets his ego aside and decides what's going to be best for the case.
I had the good fortune of working with Ben Chu on another trial at the end of 2019. And afterwards, I had helped him.
And then to actually top it all off, I already thought it was kind of weird that none of her like former friends or whatever testified for her in person. I thought it was weird too that her previous partner, Tasha Van Ray, also didn't testify as well. Anyone think that was weird? Because Tasha's name was on the witness list, but she didn't testify. And I don't think she even testified for the UK one as well.
Prep for a witness that he took at that trial, and I think he must have appreciated, you know, I think he appreciated the way that I knew all the documents and sort of had mastered the factual evidence for the trial.
Oh, yeah. I think Elaine and Amber said that. I think Amber mentioned that in rebuttal, I think. You know, here's the thing. I don't know why they decided to put Amber up on the stand for rebuttal. That just opened her to be cross-examined by Camille again, and that was just a disaster the first time. Why did they allow her to do it the second time? Don't ever put Amber on the stand. Ever! Ever, 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 ever! Don't do it! And then in terms of... Oh, yeah, and I think Elaine said it as well in her closing statement. She said that Amber spent over like $6 million or something. And then Camille Vasquez was trying to object it, and then whatever. Oh, smash that like button. Do it! Yeah, smash the like button. Do it.
Trial. I'm so appreciative to Ben for giving me that opportunity and giving me that chance then, and then I'll be taking a chance on me at trial as well.
I mean, I adore Ben. He's a wonderful friend and mentor and fantastic lawyer. I have, you know, nothing but love and respect for him. I mean, these people were stuck together for life, you know.
Oh, look at Wayne Dennison. Look at that cutie pie right there. Wayne Dennison.
You like it or not at this point. I mean, you know, we're family. I mean, again, tremendous amount of respect for him and just adore him.
This is rare. This is rare. The lawyers can...
That's what I was about to say, Vinny. I was about to say the same thing. I was like, man, lawyers getting along this well, that's pretty freaking awesome. Treating each other like family and stuff, because I don't know. I've been in some work environments, and, you know, sometimes lawyers, they be a little spicy, and people are like, don't want to put up with them. Sometimes they're very demanding and shit.
Considering themselves a family.
But that's cool.
That's
good. It's a good work environment.
Everybody loves Ben Chu. Ben Chu, still with us, and also joining us now, Court TV legal correspondent.
Oh, look at her jacket. Cute. What does she wear? A turtleneck or something?
Chanley Painter. And Chanley, you can verify that everyone
loves
Ben Chu, right?
Everyone loves Ben Chu. You know, it's so rewarding as a journalist, Vinny, to start a story day one, sit inside a courtroom every day, get to know the teams, the players, the parties, and then full circle almost sit down afterwards. And really, they pull the curtain back, and we learn so many new details that are revealing. And yes, who doesn't love Ben Chu, right? Such a great guy. So honored to have him on tonight. But this isn't it. We have a whole show tomorrow, another hour.
Yay!
That was just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, Benny.
Gotcha. And we're going to have a preview of that in just a second. Ben, let me ask you about this team, this family, this trust. Was this trial fun?
Is Camille Vasquez in their D.C. location as well, or is Camille their California location? I think Camille's California-based, right?
There were aspects of it that were a lot of fun. This was such a great team, myself excluded and Wayne excluded. Wayne Dennison is another tremendous senior attorney, but
where is he at?
Ourselves excluded. It was a very young team.
Get Wayne in here.
We had the benefit of working with them. It was wonderful. We were very close, and Johnny also is a lot of fun. There were moments of tension. You know, his life was on the line, so it wasn't all fun and games. And our love for him kind of made us work even harder. And I wanted to clear up one thing for the record. It was Jessica who came up with the Black Pearl. I'd love to take credit for that, but that was her.
She's the big fan. All right, Chanley, what can we expect tomorrow night in part 2? And Ben, you're joining us tomorrow night too, right?
Part 2?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. What's coming up tomorrow night, Chanley?
Yeah, tomorrow night we're going to shift. We focus tonight a lot on Depp's case in chief rebuttal. Tomorrow, Amber Heard's case, specifically a lot of Camille Vasquez perspective on Amber's testimony, how she prepped for the cross-examination, what didn't go as planned, and what surprised her. Here's a taste, Vinny.
All right, that video is not up yet, but when it's up, we'll react to it, okay? We'll watch it together.
During the cross of Amber, anything surprise you?
Yes.
Yes! The way she said it was like exasperated, yes. Like, yes! Like, I don't know, I feel like Camille still feels a little bit traumatic from that experience.
During the cross of Amber, anything surprise you?
Yes.
Holy fuck, yes.
She came off angry. At some of
that facade of hers faded away when she was pissed, okay? Don't fuck with the narcissist. Actually, fuck with the narcissist, because you'll find out who their you'll find out their true selves. Yeah, the true selves.
the questions. And that was surprising to me, but also I thought really helpful for our case because I think the jury got to see, at least in our opinion, who the real Amber Heard was.
There's a lot more of that, plus some new details, Vinny, on the jury. Things that I didn't know sitting in there staring at the jury all day long, coming from Camille Vasquez, plus the team's reaction to the appeal filed by Amber Heard, and a lot of...
The amicus curiae, Ben Chu, are you going to comment on it?
The arguments from Amber's side, there's some tough questions that they're going to field tomorrow. We're going to hear their answers, especially with Amber Heard arguing about this chilling effect that she believes this verdict has on women or survivors who want to step forward and talk about domestic abuse. So we'll have the...
Oh, look at Nadelhoff. Forgot about Nadelhoff. Hey, Nadelhoff, how are you doing over there?
Depp team's reaction to all of those.
This guy, if we were ever to rewatch the trial again, I want to pay close attention to Nadelhoff. He made some funny-ass facial expressions. This guy is actually really funny. Y'all didn't pay attention to him because you guys were too busy with Amber's bullshit. But this guy is hilarious.
Tough questions tomorrow.
Ben, let me ask you about Amber Heard. Had you ever heard of Amber Heard before this?
Oh, shit. Vinny, oh my God, Vinny. Vinny is setting up Ben. Okay, let's see what Ben says.
I really hadn't, only in the context of speaking with Johnny and knowing that...
Ben's like, who? Who you married to? I've never heard of her before.
By the time I met him, they had already been divorced. But I didn't know any of her work as an actress.
And the Washington Post op-ed that's the subject of all of this. When it first came out, did you see it?
I'm not gonna lie, I did hear of Amber Heard, but I didn't know what movies or roles she was in. I always just know I always thought her as the pretty one who kind of reminded me of Margot Robbie. I don't know. I always like got them mixed up.
Did you read it? Were you surprised, or is it something that you get a call from Johnny saying, what's going on here?
I was surprised. I mean, I read it, and then almost contemporaneously, I got a call from someone on Johnny's team, but I read it the same way the jury read it. It clearly was referring to Johnny. There wasn't much subtle about it, and the fact that they didn't literally mention his name was immaterial. I thought it was outrageous.
And one more question. We only have less than a minute left here, Ben. How big this trial became? Did you have any idea going in?
No, we really didn't. I mean, when the chief judge decided it would be televised, we knew there would be some notoriety. It really didn't hit me until opening arguments.
And again, remember, Elaine said she fought tooth and nail to try to prevent this from being televised, okay? She did not want to have Amber Heard on the stand in front of the world to see. I'm so glad that she lost that battle.
Camille and I split. And when I got up there, I kind of realized the magnitude of it in terms of the interest that people had. And then every day around the courthouse, of course, it was, you know, there were people, there were alpacas. It was quite a scene.
It snowballed. It absolutely did. All right, Chanley Painter, thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Ben Chu.
For part 2. Well, again, when they come up with that, we're going to watch it together. Let's react together. I did want to add something. I forgot what I was going to say. Blah, 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 blah. Something with Elaine. Oh, God, I don't remember now. Amber has done such forgetful side roles. No one knows her. I never knew who she was. I went back and watched The Rum Diary. She showed her true colors in that movie. Poor Johnny got bewitched. So I thought it was really interesting that I kind of just stumbled upon this trial. So before this trial happened, I was streaming Court TV while I was playing Elden Ring. And it was the bar... MURDR trial. Okay, actually no, I can't even spell it out because when you spell it out, it shows up in the caption. It was a bar murder trials. We were watching it and streaming it on stream, and I was playing Elden Ring at the time. And then when that was over, I was like, oh, I wonder what are the trial court TV is gonna have as well. And I was like, oh, they're doing a Johnny Depp stuff. Oh, Johnny Depp, what is he up to? Well, what happened to Johnny Depp? Oh my God, I didn't know there's so many accusations levied towards him. What happened here? And then yeah, I completely just like stumbled upon covering this trial because I was also watching this trial while playing Elden Ring. And then when we were getting really invested into it, when I felt like I had to really listen, I was like, oh my God, we got to focus on this trial. There's so much reading that I did every freaking night because there's so much materials, like reading the court transcripts from the UK trial and the different depositions, stuff like that. Like it was a lot. I knew of her from my niece talking about the same woman screwing over JD. My husband's favorite DC movie was Aquaman. He didn't even remember her in it. RIP. You know, I watched Justice League. She was like barely even in it. She was like sort of in it, but like not even really in it. But the way they made her, the way they kept talking about her, like, oh yeah, she's in Justice League. Oh, she's in Aquaman. It's like, I mean, she was in it, but did she really have like a major role? Like, not really. I mean, I guess like there was a major role with her being Jason Momoa's like love interest, but it wasn't like she was like, you know, like, I don't know. She didn't have a lot of like cameo time, especially in Justice League. The sound in my freezer. I would have played Mirror better than Heard. All right, everyone. Well, so we'll keep an eye out for this court TV stuff. Part 2 will be coming out, and I'm excited. All right, everyone. I hope you guys had fun here. It was nice chatting with y'all. I am going to end my stream, and if you missed this, don't worry about it. I'm going to post this video on YouTube. I think I'm just going to post it ASAP just so you guys can watch it before part 2 comes out. So I'm going to post this on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out. And then I'm going to stream on twitch.tv/Corgi-san with 2 A's. We're going to be playing a horror game on there. So if you want to stop by, feel free. Come by and say hi. If you like horror games, that's your thing. Feel free to stop by. But other than that, I will see you guys, I guess, whenever they post this video out. So maybe tomorrow, I guess. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll watch it together. We'll react together. And hope you guys had fun. Thank you so much. Take care. And thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I do appreciate it. I really appreciate those who are here chatting with me. If you're a new member, you now have a baby corgi icon next to your name. And you can use emotes. So feel free to spam the emotes. So thank you so much for all your support, guys. We have new videos that are out regarding Casey. More Amber Heard appeal stuff. If you missed earlier, Team Johnny Depp responded to Amber Heard's amicus curiae. Well, not responded directly, but they wanted the court to reject it. That's pretty spicy as well. So if you missed that, don't worry about it. I'm going to post a video pretty soon. Okay? So take care. Oh, also, we have a new vlog that's up as well. November, December vlog. Check it out. And I will see you guys